Today we are going to do exercise 2, double acting cylinder control for Robo 122. We are going to use all of these modules on the system, and we are going to have double acting cylinder control. This is air supply manifold. You're going to connect the supply tubing into the air supply tubing into this manifold, and we are going to take wires like tubings from these outlets and connect to the selector valve, to directional control valve, and to the cylinder. This is the system that you would be using. This is the air supply manifold. You have two selector valves. You have directional control valve here and the cylinder. This is the air supply unit, and the output I am going to take it and I am going to connect to the air supply manifold on the system. See, we have connected from the air supply unit through this tubing into the air supply manifold. Now I am going to take wires like tubings from these outputs. I am going to connect to the selector valve 1 and 2. From these two outlets I have taken two wires that must go to the selector valves. Now I am connecting one inlet to selector valve 1. This is the input side. This inlet I am going to connect to the input of selector valve 2. This is the cylinder and this is the head end. I have connected a wire here, just a press, and this is the cap end. I have connected a wire. Now these two ends I am going to connect to the output of the selector valves. This cap end is going to selector valve 1. The head end is going to selector valve 2. Selector valve 1 is open. Selector valve 2 is also open. How do I know these are open? Is from the back of the switches. You see it's not engaged. When I put it to the other side, it gets engaged. So I could say this is off position and this is on position. Now I'm going to make the air supply on, and I am switching on selector valve 1. You see the rod extended. Now I am closing it. It is staying the same. Now I can retract it by switching on this. Off, nothing happens. Now we are going to do step number 5. We are going to turn on the selector valve connected to cap end, and then we are going to extend the cylinder. Now both the selector valves are off. This is the one connected to the cap end. I am going to turn it on and I am going to turn it off. Now SV2 is off. Okay. Now the rod is extended. Now I am going to turn on the selector valve that is connected to head end, which is SV2, and I am going to turn it off. SV2 connected to head end, turn on and turn off. See, the rod is retracted. Now step number 7, turn on SV1 again. The rod is going to get extended. I am not going to turn off SV1. When SV1 is on, I am going to turn on SV2 and see what is going to happen when both the selectors are on. Now turn on, the rod extended, keep this on. Let us turn on and off this. Turn on, turn off, nothing happens. Now both SV1 and SV2 are on as per step number 8. Step number 9 is to turn off both the selectors while the rod is extended. We will try it. If the rod is not retracted, we are going to retract it with the pencil or similar object. SV1 and SV2 are on. I am going to switch off both. I am going to switch off SV2 and then SV1 Note the result. The rod is still extended. Now SV1 and SV2 are off and the rod is extended. I am going to retract it. We are done with part 1. We are proceeding to part 2. We are going to use 5/2 directional control valve for part 2. This is step 1 in part 2. Disconnect the cylinder from the selector valves. Now this is the DC valve. DC valve output ports should be connected to the cylinder. From the air supply manifold, I have to connect the inlet port of the DC valve. Now the output of SV1, I have to connect to pilot port A of the DCV. The output of SV2 has to go to pilot port B. Now turn on SV1 off, turn on SV2 off. Now with both SV1 and SV2 off, the rod is retracted. Now I am going to turn on SV1. See, the rod is extended. I am not going to turn off SV1. With this on, I am going to turn on SV2 and I am going to note the result. Now keeping this on, keeping SV2 on, I am going to turn off SV1 and I am going to turn it on again, and now again I have to note the result. Now I have to turn off with the rod extended both of the SV1 and SV2. Note the result. Now if it doesn't retract through the pencil, you can just turn it on and then retract it. Now we are proceeding to part 3, speed control with inline flow control valves. These two are the inline flow control valves. This is the cap end, this is the head end. With these inline flow controls, I can adjust the speed of extension and retraction. Now initially what I am doing, I am keeping it fully on and closing it completely, okay, closing it completely, and I am going to turn on SV1 and see the speed at which it is extending. So open a bit and see it is extending at a slower speed. Now when I try to retract it, there is no change in speed. Now I am going to open it completely. I am going to close this side completely. And try to extend and retract the cylinder. Now I am going to open it 2 turns and again try to extend and retract the cylinder. Now extension speed is not affected, but when you try to retract it, see the speed. Now we are done with part 3. I have shown here the symbols for 3/2 selector valve. This is going to be connected to the cap end and this is going to be connected to the head end. You are going to figure out how to make the connections. This is the symbol of a double acting cylinder. With respect to part 1, we have only these 3 components we connected in the circuit, and when you make the diagram, that is for your exercise result sheet. In part 2 of this exercise, we use those same 3/2 selector valves, SV1 and SV2. We included a double pilot controlled 5/2 directional control valve. to control the same double acting cylinder. Again, you have to figure out how to make the connections to control the cylinder function. Part 3 is speed control with inline flow controls. I am going to show it on part 2 itself. I am adding these inline flow controls between the 5/2 direction control valve and the double acting cylinder, and you are going to connect through these inline flow controls. You are going to control again the double acting cylinder. We are done with exercise 2, double acting cylinder control.